idea behind that is a course you have always wanted to read. I have an auntie, I will give you an example. My auntie is well over 70 now. She retired as a nurse. She did very well. She was a homemaker. And when she retired, she went back to school to read law. And she read law with her second daughter. And she finished the course. Now you say, what does nursing have to do with law? Probably along the line, it has always fascinated her. Retirement is an opportunity for you to go to those places you have always wanted to go to. I have known couples that will get up, carry their bags, tell the children, see you later. I'm going with my girlfriend, and they go on a cruise. Retirement is an opportunity to rediscover yourself. Now, let me shift to the powerful members of this room who are like widows while their husbands are alive, that hold the house, hold the children, and take care of your needs. I'm not talking to the personnel's wives. You are powerful women because it doesn't take an ordinary man to NDA is not meant for ordinary men. Because the reality is that even if you do not wear the uniform outwardly, as a civilian, you wear it in your mind. The training rubs up on you, whether you like it or not. It comes with its own vocabulary. So I hear clowns, and I hear on a good day, and I hear all sorts of things. So it tells you that it's a world within a world. When you retire, whatever it is that you do, even if you are painting or you are driving or you are selling or whatever it is that you are going to do, you will one day bear the title of a retiree. But what will you do with yourself? You need to have the right mindset. The right mindset is number one. You need to be confident in yourself. One of the challenges of retirement is that, let me give you an example of this very senior officer. This was a man full of life. A month or two before retirement, this man was looking like a shadow of himself. You will greet him, Oga, good afternoon. This man was not hearing you. He was afraid. There are different categories of people going into retirement. We have those that are in denial, that act like they are not going to retire. And then we have those that are scared of retirement. Not because they are broke, but because they now understand that beyond money are so many other emotions and problems. There are people that, as they have been in service, for example, did not make any civilian friends. And they now discover that when they drop this uniform, they literally have nobody to talk to because you are all now scattered to the four winds. Among retirees will be people who will relocate to their village. Some will relocate abroad. Some will relocate out of the state. And then keeping in touch becomes hard. Why I like reunions like this is their impact are truly felt when you have retired. Because then it is no longer as convenient and easy again. So when people come for such things, you now know that it's an effort. I want to encourage all of you here to keep in touch. Loneliness actually kills. 1 in 4 Nigerians, according to statistics, I think it was by WHO also, says that they have mental health problems. Now, why do they have mental health problems? People think it is only about somebody picking rubbish from the dustbin. But we need to understand that anxiety disorder is a mental health issue. Depression is a mental health issue. I have literally seen retirees, the Oga was bouncing. 4 years after, you see the man is half of that size. Not only physically, but you can see that his spirit is broken. Why? Not because he does not have money in his account, but because he cannot understand how he can fit into the world. Now, coming back to the strong women, women of timber and caliber and not of sawdust and plywood. Women of sagacity and capacity. You have an interesting task ahead of you. Because aging, I'm going to talk about that very briefly, brings its own challenges. The 6-pack has now become 1 packet. There's a very senior personnel. He spoke about the fact that there are people now who have gotten to the point where God is their Baba. Now, at that point in time, it is not only women who struggle with aging, men also struggle too. The good looks that everybody knew you for, you are losing them. Your physical strength that you used to have, some of them start struggling with memory problems. There's somebody right now, you tell him something 30 minutes after he's forgotten. Those are part of the challenges, cognitive decline. I will encourage all of you here to begin to walk your mind. What do I mean by walk your mind? Walk your mind means doing mental exercises. It is not every time you bring out your calculator because your brain is like a muscle. The more you lift weights with it in terms of making some calculations, deciphering, doing crossword puzzles and things like that, it makes your brain stronger. Because your brain, you either use it or lose it. Just the way you go to the gym and you are lifting weights and helps you to be physically stronger, or you exercise, it also helps to keep your brain fit so that you slow down the process of cognitive decline. Now I'm going to talk about exercise very briefly. There's age-appropriate exercise. There are people in this hall here that believe that they have the capacity of 50 men. You need to also recognize the reality of getting older. There are so many things you cannot do anymore. You are entering into that phase. Be realistic about your expectations. One Oga told me one day on the staircase, he's a big brother. And he told me, he said, that's why I like my wife. The expectation in Zauza room will not be so high. She knows what I can do. There are so many people every day who are taking all sorts of things to boost their manpower and so that they can feel like men. I want to tell you the truth. Please stop putting pressure on your heart. Stop putting pressure on your blood supply. Don't die in active duty because you will not move to permanent sites. Do what you can do and leave the rest. Stop putting your body under pressure, because if you are 52, your heart is 52. Your liver is 52. Your kidney is 52. Some are even 55 or even older. I walk within different circles. Pardon me, sometimes I behave like a boy. That's my inner tomboy speaking. And one Oga said, he said, forget about the body engine still there. And one funny rank and file that was passing by, very mischievous boy, say, Oga, forget that the engine don't knock. Now, why am I saying all these things? It is because we must have realistic expectations about ourselves. We must not get to the point where health crisis pushes us to the hospital and then we are now forced to do what we should have done in the first place. At this particular point in time, madam, help him. Not because he wants to eat your chop money that he gives you every day, so he must eat big about nights. At this point in time, you only need 2 meals in a day, one light, one a bit heavy. Breakfast is your best meal. Eat to live, don't live to eat. A situation where everything goes into your mouth, garbage in, garbage out. At this point, consistency is key for exercises. Keep your mind and your body sharp. Do not be afraid of retirement. Now, there are some women in this hall that are waiting for retirement to come to deal with that yeye man and divorce or separate themselves. Please, I want you to have a rethink, because it is not easy. Now, for some of you here, you need to understand that these people are your partners in progress. Because when you talk about the last men standing, literally, they are the ones. We must treat them right. Retirement is coming. That is when you understand the concept of companionship. All the money in the world cannot be a companion that talks to you, understands you, and knows your weaknesses and your strengths. At that point, it is negotiation. It is not order and directives. Because she's not a soldier. She did not. Oh, some people are giving me support from there. No, but we have to say the truth. For those in the civilian world, you have an added advantage because you have already integrated into the outside world. Because the Army, the Navy, the Air Force is a closed world. Every day for 35 years, you understand, you wear your uniform, you take instruction, you give instruction, and there's order, and there's a system that you work within it. And once you fit into that system, you can continue going. The loss of that control, the loss of that command, the loss of that capacity can make people begin to feel like they are invisible and they cannot fit into the outside world. I want you to take this away today, that you can fit in, but begin the process of reintegration, because from civilian you came and to civilian you will return. Make good friends, socialize. Don't lock yourself up and die in silence. If you have any challenges, reach out. At this point in time, it's not only your lawyer that should be your best friend, your doctor should be your best friend. Why? Because when you know what is happening, a stitch in time saves 9. Please don't be in denial. I had to deal with a very senior officer the other time. He's retired now. And the man said for close to 20 years, he has been taking hypertension medication. And he said he has gotten tired of it. And I told him, I said, oh God, do you know why you should continue? Not because of you. Please do it because of your children. Do it because of me. Do it because of everybody that will miss you when you are gone. Because the truth is this, if you're having any challenges with your medication, talk to your doctor. You can always switch medication if you're having any side effects. Now, for the men, let me go back now. You are 55. All your body parts are also 55. All your body parts, including your local government area. I don't think since today started you have laughed this much. If it is only the humor alone, the therapy has helped you. Like I said, we save the best for last. Now, the truth is this. All your body parts are a certain age. Don't deceive yourself about your capacity. You are getting older. Grow old gracefully and not disgracefully. Accept reality and adjust accordingly. It doesn't make you less of a man. It simply shows that you are a man that is wise and understands his capacity. Now, for these women that are seated in the hall here, please, retirement is not revenge or payback time. Yes, because one of the challenges of our own system is that we don't call ours a clinic, we call it a practice. And we are privy to things that even some medical doctors or GPs, general practitioners, don't see or hear about. Erectile dysfunction is real, but you need to understand what caused it. Go and see your doctor. Now, for the women, what are your specialists called? Gynecologist, what? OBGYN, and so on and so forth. For the men, what is your own specialist? Radio silence. It's called a urologist. A good number of you can tell me all the types for women, but you cannot even mention your own. A urologist is familiar with the plumbing system of your body and now knows what to do about it. Please, we have a case in medicine now, and it is a worldwide problem. One of the challenges is that a lot of men wait until they are half dead before they present at the hospital. A stitch in time saves nine. We have had situations where wives will be complaining in frustration that their husbands don't want to go to seek medical help. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a bit crude now. You cannot live, thank you. You cannot live a life on a diet of burantashi, okole, and things like that. The blue pill, one of the side effects is that it can cause blindness. It doesn't make you. There's a very popular song. There's a very popular song. It said, no go, they do pass yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself. At this age, you should have realized that your sexuality does not mean you are a man. It's your level of responsibility. Your capacity to make quality decisions. There was a case of a very senior person, he's retired now. He said when he retired, his first daughter does not talk to him. Sorry, his daughter, because he only has 2 children, a boy and a girl. And he said, because the girl said, Daddy, you abandoned me because of this uniform. I want you to befriend your children. Because the truth is this, you left them as toddlers and you're coming back to meet them either as teenagers or adults, or even if they are younger, but they have not always seen you around. You should have the equivalent of, my name is XYZ, how are you? Because the truth is this, they are not personnel. You cannot order them around. You need their friendship and their buying. You need to be able to speak to the inner man or woman in them and they respond accordingly. Because adulthood is about friendship. Please, don't think that that is a yaya woman. That is your backbone if you're not aware. Those children. We have had too many cases of midlife crisis. Somebody wakes up one day, removes the old wife, puts a new one. At your age, you should not be talking about Pampers except you are buying for your grandchildren. Because Befriend your wife. Woo her again. Befriend your husband. Woo him again. Let retirement be one of the sweetest parts. This man said he had issues with the wife. They were barely living and working together. The woman stayed in the East. He was in Abuja. When he retired now, he had to beg this woman, Kwasa. He acknowledged that he made some mistakes. And the relationship was repaired. And you need to see the way two of them are doing boyfriend and girlfriend now, at over 60. That is your companion for old age. Queen Elizabeth died recently. That woman was not the same again after she lost her life companion. Let's talk about emotional intelligence for like a minute, then I'll be done. Emotional intelligence is the ability to manage your own emotions, that of the people around you, and also your environment. Nigerian men, most of the time, are not the most emotionally intelligent. It's a valuable life skill because as you go into the outside world, you understand very, very clearly that you can disappear into the background if you have nothing to offer. Your capacity as an individual, your capacity in whatever life path you have chosen, your capacity is enhanced when you have emotional intelligence. IQ can only take you so far. Your social skills, your emotional intelligence, it's what will now make a way for you. I want you to read books and read materials and boost your capacity in that area. Lastly, I want to talk about spirituality. The truth is this, none of us is getting out of this place alive. And when I say this place, I'm referring to this earth. Well, except in my own religion, rapture happens. But till then, we must learn to make the most out of each day. Take each day one day at a time. Don't be afraid, don't be scared. Retirement is not a sentence to death. It's actually the doorway, transition point to a new life. You recreate yourself. For the women here, I wanted to talk about this one-on-one. You also need to recreate yourself. You see that babe that your husband toasted many years ago. You have paid the price by giving your body, your life, and your time. Postings affected you. You've had to hold the home most times on your own. Now you have done what you are supposed to do. Please begin to think and work on yourself. Eat good food. Rest properly. You are also getting older too. The pressure they have faced in this job, you have also faced it too. Because when they talk about my wife, please pray for me, they won't call me, they'll call you. If the man is not being promoted, he will not call me, he will call you. If the children are not doing well, they will not call me, they will call you. One of the challenges we have nowadays that doesn't respect anybody is drug abuse. Please seek for help. Chemicals can only take you so far. They are like the devil's gift. It only gives you a little, but takes the whole world. Seek for help. You are frustrated, you are bitter, you're angry in your marriage. You have earned the right now, at this age and at this point, to open your mouth and speak to your husband politely about how you feel. Please, you are also pleased and joined to listen to them and come to a compromise. I want to hear that everybody is thriving. I want to hear everybody is doing well. And I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you.
Another round of applause, please, for Dr. Ehis Opataku. So we will just quickly take a few questions, comments, if you have, for the good doctor. Okay, then probably do that. So let's, please, a round of applause for Commodore Edako. And where is squadron leader? Where is squadron leader? Group captain, sorry. Okay, good. Please step forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all welcome back fully to the sessions. As you're well aware, we had presentations as husbands and as well as wives of this great cause. So this point we are in now is a joint session where we were open to comments and questions directed to any of the resource persons that have spoken to us this afternoon. So the floor is open, maybe for some sort of arrangement. We will start by my far right and work our way towards the end here. Yes, Dr. Ehisa said you can ask any questions at all. And when I say any questions, we'll start with Rear Admiral Maman.
The guest speaker, our wives, able cosmates. I am Rear Admiral J.N. Maman. Mine is more of a contribution or a comment. From the lecture, Doctor talked about partner in progress, and there is no yeye wife. That I have agreed. From my little research I've done, I found out that only husbands retire. If you've noticed how women manage themselves, women don't retire. They only change profession. So while you are still strong, please, cosmates, invest in your wives.
A good one, a good one. We will now move over to this row. Any comments from here? Mrs. Ablai, any comment from your end? Any comment, question? All right, we'll move here. Mrs. Phillips, comments, questions? Kona Ibe, are we okay? Yes, sir. You know, I'm talking to those who probably need Dr. His advice. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's take one from Andrew. Before you start, Andrew, please, again, if you have maybe you have somewhat things you may want to talk about, but you are not really strong enough to do that, you can write your questions or comments, put your name down, direct it. Okay, don't put your name, and direct it to any member of the panel. They would respond to you. You can maybe put your number so that they can respond to you quickly after that. So, Andrew, please continue.
Okay. Mine is, I think I'll base it on a little of my experience. In 2008, when I came back from Darfur, Sudan, I deliberately decided that I'll stay at home until I was posted. Now, the idea is that you're supposed to go on 2 weeks disembarkation leave and then report to your cohort headquarters. So I decided to stay at home because from when I got married to that point, the highest number of days I spent with my wife was 2 weeks. So I decided that I must stay at home until I was posted. I stayed at home exactly 4 months before I got my posting. Within that 4 months, my wife got tired of me staying at home because she has never seen it. She has never experienced it. She has never experienced it. So she was, at a point in time, I didn't know that I had a superior who was serving in MS then, and she had his contact. She was calling him behind me to say, when I go to post this, Oga, I'm tired of him staying at home. No, it's a frank talk. Many of us throughout our careers. Okay, when I got retired, I decided that I was going to use the first 1 year doing nothing. just stay at home. At that point in time, Madam can no longer call anybody because I'm now retired. I have to stay at home. She must stick with me. All right, so that one passed. Many of us are going to experience it. We've risen through our career. Maybe the highest you spend is maybe 1 month. And you're going to retire, you're going to go meet that same woman at home and stay forever. My advice is get close to her now. Get close to her now. Rebuild your relationship now. So that when that time comes, you are not trying to start all over from the beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rando. I saw Andy about wondering, are you okay? You want to speak to us? Okay, you're good. From the back? Yes, SOJ, please.
Yes, lecturers. I am Admiral Oyegade. My question is more to Commodore Edako. A lot of us know we're going to, ultimately we have to retire from the job, and we have the idea that we want to go into business when we retire. But the challenge we have, and I've spoken to a lot of people on this, officers, soldiers, ratings, what really do we want to venture into when we leave the service? What is the idea of business that we have in mind? What really do we get to do? And I say that because the business environment is quite tough these days. So, and I'm happy that we have 3 resource persons and a very experienced retired colleague or retired colleagues. How do we generate the idea of what business to go into? What are the options available to us as officers? Thank you.
Plenty now. Now, what you want to?
Commodore, just a minute. Commodore will take that question, and then you have something to add. Okay, just quickly. Give just quickly to buttress that.
Okay. Thank you, Saz Ma, for the presentation. Major General Adeyinka. First and foremost, since 2 people got up to save themselves from their wives, on behalf of the rest of us too, that we are not going to get up, we are telling the madams too, we have learned, we too, we agree completely, we'll draw closer to you. So now, sir, my question, sir. My question, sir. Sir, it's to you, and it's a very direct one, and I requested to speak because I guess it's tied to what my classmate was asking. One area that you spoke about in your lecture is how amenable and how it's easy for us to key into lecturing and faculty. It would be interesting to know, maybe not everything here, but what are those things? What are those courses? What are those capacities that we need to start building in ourselves at this point in time to prepare ourselves before the clarion call comes our way? Thank you very much.
Okay, 2 related questions from Commander Dako. There will be okay. I think Dauda has something to. No. Let's please. I just hold on. Let's take the question first. Huh? Okay, 2 of time. Okay, give him.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The guest lecturer spoke about health. So what I will say to all of us is you will be deliberately proactive. You will not wait until you see any sign or until anything begins to happen or happened before you react. And a new car that's being used, when it begins to get old, requires maintenance. So assume that your body is like that. Don't wait, just go and get checked up all the time. Make it a routine. Even if they check you and say you're 100%, next 6 months, next 1 year, go again.
Then at this level, hardly is anybody not having one thing to take or the other. Even if you don't have any BP, any blood sugar, all those routine things that are required to take routine, you still need supplements to maintain your body. So check yourself, do blood works. If you have any deficiency in any vitamin, keep it. And if you have any medication, take it religiously and follow the rules. I tell you, you will last. Yes. Then regarding outside and retirement, don't be scared of anything. I left the service 2008, I think, or 2009, and we are okay. You can see us, the retirees amongst us. The outside, don't be scared of anything. But gentlemen, plan. And like Mama said, and the other colleague, and in fact, I think I say all of us that have not spoken, plan with your wife and your families. I heard somewhere they said, do a will. Do it if that's what fits you. But for the Muslims, we don't do will. So my own strategy is I share it because I know if I die, there could be problems. So you share it. No, since I'm alive, the way I want it to go, because if you die, it may not go the way you want it to go. So the sharing is not willow. You are my wife with this number of children. I've given you this house and this property, but the gifts take effect from when I die. As I'm pronounced death. So nobody will come and say, get out or come this and this, that. So please, plan properly. Invest in your wives. Yes, Mama, thank you very, very much. God bless you. This is a very serious matter. Some of the women that you've been hiding and keeping them and refusing them to develop, they will just be crying of your death and people are packing everything. So reinforce her, let her go to school, sponsor her, let her, or business or whatever. But madam, you have to be loyal and trustworthy. Yes, because, no, seriously, seriously, because we have women that, listen, what happens is we have women that when they are empowered, they turn against their husbands, especially when we start getting old, when we are old. Women, because we're naturally almost always older than our wives in Africa here. So we will get old and get very weak when you people are still doing well. And I have empowered you. You are now very okay. You are this, you are that. Then you just be husbanding me. So very, very important, because that's what has stopped some people from empowering their wives.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that quick one. Let's that's why I said okay. Is it in relation to this? Okay, let's take Agwaza as the last one. Please give him please hurry up. 2 minutes, please. 2 minutes, please.
Yes, speakers. Our queens, my fellow colleagues, good evening. What I've observed about this military job, right from NDA, when we came in, till the exit, is military professionalism. I'm happy that a lot of you seated here that are still in service are operating at the policy and strategic level. I want to say, I'm sorry to you people, because you have lost it. The effort you make to be on track will be a very serious one. But what I want you to start doing now, start thinking of coming up with a policy about those ones coming behind. Some of us, our children are already in NDA. Start making a policy that will prepare them. This entrepreneurship, you see, even in the advanced claim or the developed claims, this entrepreneurship, people focus less on certification. You understand? They focus on your ability, what you'll be able to bring out, what you can do. So my advice, this entrepreneurship skills should be integrated into the curriculum, even even right from NDA, there is not out of place. So once we do it, you will grow within the service, and you can even start making your dry runs in terms of experimentation and whatsoever, and then get the phone lines, articulate the position. Then before you get to the retirement stage, you've already have a template, an operational template, that once you go out, easily you will just key into it and you move smoothly. So thank you very much. That's my only little contribution.
Thank you very much, Waza. We would take responses first from Commodore Edako, and then we would have 2 minutes each for Group Captain Emir and Dr. Hayes to also respond and add value to what has been discussed here.
Thank you very much. I want to start by thanking Madam Hayes. She was not here when I delivered my lecture, and almost all she's saying is as if we sat together to write this lecture. Please, let's give her another round of applause. I want to say that, you remember I told you my experience when my daughter say, "Oh, call me uncle." That means we have to be close to our wives. Today, my wife tells me, said, "It is not that we are married. That all these years you were married to the service. Now that you're my husband, now I begin to know your wife. Because for the past 7 years, I have been home. I've been with her, and we have been seeing each other every day. We sit down and look at ourselves." She said it clearly, and she repeats it always. This is now that you are marrying me. Before you married your service. So please, I think we should be very nice to our wives. Otherwise, they will leave you and go and do a mugo somewhere. You'll be alone in the house. Very, very true. Yeah, man, then they go mugo, now woman. Let's start with the first question. The first question by Admiral Oyegade. How do I know what business to invest in? What is business? Business means filling a need, providing a need, filling a vacancy, a lacuna, something is missing in the society. So it depends on what level of business you want to go. Is it a business that is national, within the state, within the community, within where you reside? You have to look around and see what people want. You understand me? Look around and see what people want. That's why I said in my lecture, start with something you have passion in or passion for. Look around where you are staying. Look around if you want to, don't know how much you want to invest. You want to go a big way, like Dangote and Coke level. Very good. There are certain things we need in the country. For example, we don't even make things as basic as toothpick. If you want to go into business, you can look around. There are many things we import that we are complaining. Since you complain in your locality, what you need that they are not there, you provide the service. You make it even as basic as laundry services. So first step, please, you have to do, look around where you are, where you want to settle when you retire, first of all. Or if you want to start now, look around where you are. What is it that you don't have? Even within the military, there are certain things we need that is a problem to us. You can provide them. Depends on your capital. That's why I can't give you. I don't know what capital you want to invest. Depends on the capital. If you live around where there's a university and the students are complaining of accommodation, you build houses for them to pay. So that's also depends on what you look around. First of all, the first thing to do is to look around your environment. What is it that is not there that you can provide the service? That's the business you start with. Same with Major General Adenka. You say, how do you become a teacher like me? First and foremost, your career already as a military man gives you an edge. By the time you add MSc or MA, Masters, and add PhD, the sky is your limit. This morning we talk something when I was after we talk something I didn't mention. Where I am now, gentlemen, I want to stand up that I bow for the military. Where I am, those of you who know, I told you here, the commandant will come to a hall like this and be begging participants to come in. Jesus, can that happen in an environment like this? That's indiscipline. The lecture is going on like this. You see participants going in, coming out. I say, what? My first week, it was as if I was, they saw me, I was shivering. Commandant will come to a place and bloody, let me use the word bloody participant, will be walking in leisurely. And then when he's addressing the audience, people will be talking. I say, military good though. How me, ordinary DS in defense college, when I come to the class, you know very well when I'm there. For participant to walk in, he will think twice. Oh, talk of the commandant, deputy commandant. So please, the discipline you have acquired is enough. Somebody said it, it's enough to give you a job.
Yeah.
And if you add something extra to it, the sky is your limit. Thank you very much.
I will quickly turn over to Group Captain Irmia to make contribution.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I have observed all around, those of us who retired earlier retired alone. That is why I appreciate the initiative of this gathering, to have brought in your wives to hear from the resource persons. You retire alone, you go back home, she doesn't know what you've gone through. She doesn't know what your current situation is. She probably will be judging you based on your former situation. And that's a big problem. So here they have been told, now when you retire, when I said there was a saying I told the women, when we are serving, they have half of us. When we retire, they have 2 times of us. But what happens? They have half the income. They have twice of us, but they have half the income. That's already a problem, which we have to adjust, which she has to adjust. The day you tell her I don't have money, she will say it's not possible. We are going into a society that's expected of you. Hey, Commodore, Rear Admiral, they can't believe that you don't have money. You have to adjust when you go out there. Issue of trust amongst our wives. The way you have managed your wife all along these 35 years determines how she will manage you when you come back. So the trust, we will not be tired discussing this issue of how we handle our wives. Now, when you want to go into a business, do you know that the first resource person you will ask is your wife? Because she knows you. She knows your temperament. She knows your capacity to go out and come in. She will therefore advise you, no, if you are going to this business, the way I know you, you won't make it. You won't make it. So, and I told them, I said, they think faster than us. Think for us. By the day he drops his uniform, tell him, oh God, why don't you go this way? Besides, they have more time to think along what they want you to do outside. You have been there, commander there, commander there, commander there. You've not really had time to sit down and think of how do I manage my family when I leave? So, and then when you leave, don't go there first year and say you want, because you, like Madam Doctor said, oh, you don't have friends among the politicians. You want to be there. They will come, give you every possibility, and you will see it real. But I tell you, it's your money they are looking for. If they say, come and contest Senate, don't go. Because if you go, it is them that will say, oh, market association, they want to see you. It is money. Youth association, they want to see you. It is money. You see, so your first 4 or 5 years, if they have crept all your money, how do you survive it? How do you survive it? Gentlemen, thank you very much. Let me leave it there.
2 minutes. My people, I would like to say this very briefly to buttress what my people have said. We must first of all tell ourselves the truth. Retirement is a time where all the school you have been doing in life, because life is a school, you get the report card then. You treat your body bad, it gives you the result then. If you treat your family bad, you get the result then. If you treat people good, one of the first things I will mention to you here is mentoring. How many people are you actually mentoring? Another thing you need to consider is that nobody here is too big to have a mentor. One of our challenges in Africa here is ego. We tend to assume that I have gotten to this age, so I should be the one to mentor. But if somebody younger than you has the knowledge you require, please be a mentee. There are so many people who have invested their retirement benefits, and in the first 3 years, they lose all of it because somebody came, polished and pumped up their ego, made them feel good, and they put everything into it. There are so many people who have lost money on top of cement business because they did not understand how it works. Where you were supposed to buy a 12 kVA generator, you went to buy 25 because you're a big boy and you feel that people should not see such a small generator. Forgetting that life itself, you do it not with 2 feet, but you test it 1 toe at a time. Whatever it is that you are doing, please begin the process of winding down. There was an Oga that time in uniform. You see the man, he will carry his bag himself. He said, because I'm going to retire soon, I must start practicing it now. A lot of things we do is based on ego. I know a relative of mine that went to build one massive house in the village. Rats, cockroaches, and lizards are the occupants now. Because the truth is this, for all of you here that have your children abroad, do you think they are going to come back and live in the village? Do you wish it for them? So why spend so much money building something that after you cross 70, to climb the staircase becomes a problem? Ego-driven projects. Ego prevents us from becoming students, forgetting that the only time you should stop learning is when you die. So I want us to have the right mentality and attitude about your transitioning. You are now in the process of learning. One thing I want to say about business is that it is very okay not to be business-minded. It is not everybody that has the capacity to be an entrepreneur. There are people who cannot do business. I know an Oga that time who opened a shop for the wife, and he started bitterly complaining that the wife turned to Mother Christmas, because when somebody comes and say, oh, why you, my baby? But the woman will carry, take noodles, take bread, take this, take that. Don't crucify your wife or yourself that you are not business-minded. Whatever you need to learn. I know some people who have gone into the market and understudied a trader that is less educated than themselves because they were interested in going into that area. That is obviously a person who has a strategy and a plan. But if you're making decisions based on your ego and your perceived impression of yourself, you will make massive blunders. And that is why so many after retirement don't last, they die off. Now, for the civilians that are here, I would like to say this. Help your people that are in uniform that are coming out. Help them on that transition. But you see, the thing is this, you cannot lift a child if he doesn't stretch his hand. So please, don't feel too big to ask for help, and don't feel too big to offer the help. Talking about lecturing, you should start from presenting papers. You should start from polishing. I have my own unique style. My style is unique. That is why even somebody who saw me a long time ago at NDC will remember me. Because I am not every other person. I have my own unique set of skills. Each and every one of you here should do your SWOT analysis. Know your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. In business, in your health, in your life, even in your family. There are men that when they retire, they now take over some certain roles from their wives. Why? Because they have more aptitude and capacity. The only challenge they've had all this while is time. Weigh all your options. Let us be realistic and truthful, because the worst form of deception is self-deception. Know your limitations, know your capacity, because it is when you know what is lacking that you know what is needed, and then you can work towards it. Now, please, for lecturing, start from presenting papers in your church, in your mosque, start. Because some of you that are seated here cannot do what I do. Do you know why? Because you have an issue facing the audience. So you need to first of all conquer that fear. But if you don't do a SWOT analysis, you will not know, and you assume because you have the information and knowledge, you are able to pass it across. I'm sure you can remember some lecturers in school then. We all knew that this person had it here, but communicating it was the problem. So it may be that when you sit down and you evaluate your skills, you know that you fall short in a particular area. Women, should I tell them the truth? I don't know if I should reveal it. That Hajia is smiling at me. Now, the truth is this, while their engine is winding down, that is when yours is coming up. Soft. We are referring. Now, what am I referring to? Local government area, councillor and legislators. Now, the truth is this, acknowledge that at that point in time too, it is not about how much or how fast, it is about how well. Take time to discover your wife like a fresh project. Understand what makes her happy. Encourage her to open up to you. And you will discover a fresh level in your marriage that you never ever thought possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Without waste of time, we have had a scintillating group of lectures. I would now quickly yield to the president to give us his own view and comments. Thank you. No.
Thank you very much. I don't know if Mr. Vice President, sir. So while we wait for our Vice President to come up, I think you are the more appropriate person to move the vote of thanks. And I'll yield to the Vice President to do that. And just before the evening, when we have opportunity to do that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to especially appreciate the organizing committee led by our able Vice President. And beyond that, I think we've seen the value in this. So a few things that we'll do in the ESCO is to see how we can expand this conversation beyond now. So I know we would have the privilege of your presentations as for the resource persons. So we can have other opportunities, maybe every quarter, maybe every just like we do our meetings online. So we can find time that's convenient for everybody to just discuss these issues. Because in the notes I made, and you repeated them, I think it's in the mind. And Dauda made the point. It's in the mind. Make the mental transition. I'll never forget the picture of a very senior officer who, when he was told to bring in his paper, ran to my office. It was almost, I thought something had happened. Somebody had died in his house. It was because they had told him to bring paper. I said, that was your problem. He's an engineer. I said, if you are like this, how do you want us to do? We will not get anything. You know? And it's just in the mind. And we finished talking that day. It felt much better. It felt much better. I'll never forget my old office in Ombori Street. It felt much better. It was like somebody who was traumatized. So I guess there's a lot that we have to talk about, but we don't have the time to unpack that. But I just thought that we should acknowledge, we all agree, and I speak for everybody when we say that these reunion events have been absolutely well put together, Mr. Vice President, and we owe you a debt of gratitude and your team and all of those who worked with you. Thank you very much, sir. I yield back.
Our guest lecturers, classmates, and our beautiful spouses. I'm sure we all know that we've learned a lot today. Before I give the vote of thanks, we have some souvenirs for our guest lecturers. On that account, may I respectfully invite the president to give out the first souvenir to Commodore Edako.
We've had the privilege of your insight and experience. You have shared with us your experience and our experience. And on behalf of our wives, our mothers, our bosses, and our brothers here, we present this as a token of appreciation. Nothing can ever adequately compensate for the value you give to us. And the application of sales regular compensation. Our wives, our children, our entire family, very good. I would say thank you. And among the many things we have received because of your very distinguished camera, we need to find this to keep this and
The next presentation will be to Group Captain Irmia. Group Captain Irmia, sir. really not a lot today on behalf of our houses and ourselves. Thank you so much. We hope when next call you, we organize ourselves. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. The last but not the least presentation will be done by the president of our groupies, our spouses, and the president. This will be given to Dr. Ekis. Thank you so much. On behalf of our alumni president, members of our first regular course, and our spouses, I wish to say a very big thank you to the three facilitators who have spent the whole day with us today. Your presentations have been insightful. We have learned a lot. I know with what we've been taught today, we'll put to use. And we know that by God's grace, we'll have a beautiful retirement. We all plan to retire. But I have one thing to say before. First of all, the service provides for us to have a glamorous retirement. The major issue is that a lot of personnel officers are scared of retirement. I'm in the HR. In the harmonized terms and conditions of service, there's provision for officers to notify the service 2 years before your retirement. But I don't think any service, I don't think any officer does that. Additionally, we also have the terminal leave. A lot of personnel are scared of going on terminal leave. We have to take note, we have to understand that if you don't go on terminal leave and you work till the last day, then you stop work abruptly and you retire to the house. There's a need to learn to take your annual leave. There's a need to learn to go on your terminal leave when it's time to retire, so that the transition will be smooth, it will be easy. On this account, on behalf of our alumni president and our spouses, I want to say a very big thank you to our facilitators who have found time to come and speak with us this evening. For our course mates, we have a 15-minute brief meeting. Our spouses can leave after this. We have a 15-minute meeting, and thereafter, we'll be looking forward to have everyone for the gala night. The red carpet starts at 17:30. And our dignitaries will be there by 18:30. Please, let's endeavor to come. A group photograph downstairs at the photo stand outside. Yeah, well, for that now. Group photograph outside at the photo stand with all our spouses and facilitators.
To share that meeting. To help us make next time better, we'll have that meeting online. We'll schedule it properly. Another meeting online. So after the photograph, we disperse to reconvene. Thank you.